So the recording has begun. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Young Talkers Podcast. This is the fifth episode, and today again we're joined with Amandeep and Soham, of course. There's a lot of important things to discuss. First, let's start off with some good news. The Nobel Prize winners were announced this past week. Amandeep, do you have anything in?
Yeah, so in particular, if you talk about Nobel Prize for Physics, um, the prize was actually awarded half to Roger Penrose, and the other half was in collaboration with Dr. Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez for discovering a supermassive object at the Milky Way's center. So Roger Penrose got his award for the discovery that black hole formation is a robust production of the general theory of relativity. And Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez got it for the discovery of a supermassive compact object at the center of our galaxy. So the entire award for this year was centered at the field of astrophysics, which is quite unique because last year also we got it for astrophysics only. So yeah, and the prize money of $1.1 million will be shared by these three people. Half will go to Penrose, and the other half will go to Dr. Gez and Dr. Gensen.
So these achievements have absolutely been big strides in physics, right? Because uh, there have been a lot of new discoveries in the past like decade about black holes, and Dr. Penrose's achievements have sort of worked on Einstein's achievements and equations as well a bit. So that's been a big leap for science as well, and it's nice to get some good news and some to see something good happen in this troublesome time period. Uh, Now back to some good or bad news, depending on how you take it. Som, do you have anything to talk about the Nobel Prize winners? Do you have anything new to add?
Oh yeah. So that's not all that happened. The what's that called? Dr. Guess, she's the fourth woman at the time that she was awarded. She's the fourth woman to win the Nobel Prize in Physics after Marie Curie, who won it first in 1903. And even further, there are two women that won a Nobel Prize for their work on the genome editing CRISPR. That was Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier. So there's more big strides for women in the fields of science.
One thing more is it's quite unique and important. Dr. Ghez, Andrea Ghez, she is from MIT, and she is the fourth winner for the prize in physics. But for MIT, it's the 102nd win actually in the
Oh,
Nobel.
wow.
So that's big.
So MIT does.
There is a pattern which is developing in the sciences, especially in Nobel. Is that there's going to be one person who's going to work on the theory of the entire study, and the other two will work on the experiment. Now, if you see Penrose, actually, he worked with Dr. Stephen Hawking. Well, he's not here today with us, but after his death, when the papers were published and all, and as he said that the entire thing has been done on Einstein's theory of relativity. So yeah, so Hawking didn't get any recognition in this side because if you see the papers, it has been divided equally with Penrose and Hawking. So yeah, just a very beautiful thing to say that yeah, now every single year they have made a rule that three people should win in physics. Last year also it was the same thing, and now
Amandeep, thanks a lot for joining us on another second time on the podcast and sharing this important information. And I'm sure our viewers enjoy it too. Uh, Next, we move on to some news. This is definitely not good news, but it's also not bad news. Uh, Donald Trump has returned to the White House. It's not good news because, I mean, half of White House at this point is rumored to be infected. and it's also not bad news because that means he's healthy. Obviously there's a lot of rumors going around, but as far as what I've seen, and him coming back, he gave he released a video on Twitter saying that he's learned a lot about COVID, which was pretty weird, but he looked well, and he seemed in shape. So what's your take?
Yeah, so he even gave his first public speech yesterday. It was a 18-minute speech with people in attendance from his balcony, and he seems to have recovered fine. And obviously that super spreader event has spread to multiple people within the inner circle of the White House, kind of thwarting US leadership in a way. And in fact, top Republican leaders have even distanced themselves from that. Like Mitch McConnell said that it's due to lax regulations within the White House that it happened. And usually Mitch McConnell is like a spokesman of Trump in the Senate.
Yeah. There's also some interesting news that a lot of rumors going around that he did this. I think we discussed this in the last podcast, that he did it uh, to get attention, to get sympathy, and it's all fake. I don't support those rumors, but if that's what was intended, that's why this whole thing took place. I doubt if it's worked in Trump's favor, because Biden is definitely in a big lead in the polls. Although you could say the sources are biased, but Biden's been in a lead for a while now, and I don't think Trump is going to be the president of the United States. But again, it's too early to call. Uh, American people can do wonders, as we've seen. Also, fun fact, I'm not sure if you guys know who Rudy Giuliani is. He used to be a former mayor of New York City. Nothing has happened to him, but a very funny incident took place, which is he's one of the people who was present in the debate room where Trump debated Biden. And a lot of people in that room tested positive for the virus. And he himself got tested about a day and a half ago, and he attended a Fox News interview between that gap of him finding out whether he's negative or positive. And he was coughing throughout that interview. I don't think we can play a clip, but it's pretty hilarious. And he's basically making fun of Biden and for taking the COVID-19 pandemic too seriously, and at the same time he's coughing. So it's been pretty funny. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Biden wanted to hold the next debate virtually, which Trump rejected, and now that debate is obviously canceled.
Yeah,
So there's in general a lot of confusion regarding all this, Trump's condition overall.
there was a lot of
And
confusion. Yeah, go ahead.
they would want to release the real statements and all, because maybe it would create a lot of havoc and things like that. So they probably want to keep it on the low, but it's quite a big thing, so it's difficult to do that.
Even in like the vice president debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, they put like a glass uh, windshield or something between the two, but it did not look effective at all. It was like the weirdest type of tactic ever. I mean, I'm sure I'll just pull up a photo on this, but it just did not look effective at all. And that debate wasn't any much more better than the last one, I'd say. But clearly, American democracy has gone for a toss for a while now. And moving on from pressing American news, let's move on to some very weird, unexpected news that took place in India. Uh, that is that one of the biggest TV news channels in India has been caught up in a scandal. I don't know if that's an overstatement or understatement, but they have been faking their TRP, and this news channel is called Republic TV.
It's still an accusation, right?
Yeah, it's still an investigation taking place. They've
Yeah, yeah.
they've taken they've arrested some people, they've summoned some people, but it has come out that they were paying a company called Hansa to which gives out devices known as barometers, which are put in homes, and that measure the TRP. And how it works is the amount of hours you watch that show. Let's say from 8 to 9, what did you watch? If most people saw Republic TV, then the TRP for Republic TV would be pretty high. And they would tell people to leave the TV on throughout the night. This is what's being claimed by a lot of the police, Mumbai police, that has filed an FIR. And even another channel called India Today has fallen into the scandal, as they have also been paying to get a higher TRP. And TRP is basically I'm not sure what the full form is. It's just a higher rating point. It's,
Television rating probe, I think.
yeah. So I mean, we don't know a lot yet, but this is definitely big news because this is one of the biggest news channels in India. And if it's being investigated, a lot could change. A lot of people could go to jail. The whole channel itself, like the face of the channel, was a journalist called Arnab
A very
Goswami.
big channel in India.
Yeah.
And I think recently it's gained a lot of popularity since the Sushant Singh Rajput case, because they've been one of the news channels that has been under the spotlight because of how closely they're following the case, and how basically how intriguing they make it sound,
Yeah.
and basically how they were only focusing on that case. And so a lot of people have been watching that.
Yeah. And yeah, that's just another news we wanted to share with you all. Moving on, I think the NBA finals is something, a
Yeah.
topic of discussion. Maybe not in India
Right,
as
so-
much, but it's a pretty big deal. Let's go ahead with that.
Yeah, so I think last match that happened, the score till then, this was the fifth match that happened last night, and the score was 3-1, and everyone was expecting the Lakers to take their fourth win, and they would have been champions, but the Miami Heat came with a win, so now the score is 3-2, and the next match is tomorrow, basically for India time, Indian Standard Time, it's 5 a.m. in the morning, and that's going to be the match that maybe decides it for the Lakers. But if the Heat win again, then the series will continue to Game 7, and that'll be the final game.
And yeah, during that match, we experienced like a legendary duel between Jimmy Butler, Heat star player, and LeBron James, Lakers star player. LeBron James had 40 points and Jimmy Butler had 35 points. And people expect this to continue for both players in the next couple of matches, because whenever the Heat have fallen into trouble, Jimmy Butler has taken over. Even in Game 3, he had 40 points. And LeBron James, the controversy surrounding LeBron James is that with 16 seconds left in the match yesterday, he had the chance to win the finals by himself, but he passed the ball to one of his teammates who missed a shot. Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that LeBron James should be the one to take that shot. And because he gets constantly compared to Michael Jordan, people say Michael Jordan would have taken that shot, Kobe Bryant would have taken that shot, but LeBron James won't. But I disagree with that because, first of all, LeBron James was surrounded by 4 Heat players. And obviously,
everyone's been marking him since he's the only one who's getting the ball and making those points, right? And another thing was that I think it's very disrespectful to Danny Green, because there's been a lot of memes, and like it is funny to a point, but to a certain point, even for him, it's not a good thing, and people are making memes about him getting traded and things like that, because there's a reputation that LeBron James has of trading players. It's become a joke. Whenever a player doesn't play good in his team, players get traded away. So yeah, there were a lot of memes about that.
Right, and with that, I think we should sum up this pod. I had an interesting talk about a lot of good news to share this week, not a lot of bad news, which is great. We hope more of it is like that in the coming weeks. And thank you for sitting through this video, hearing us talk. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Maybe encourage us, tell us we did some nice work. That would be pretty helpful. And obviously, please donate to Spark the Change. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching. Peace out.
What did I-
Bye.